Time Steve Show. The Mike Time Steve Show. The New York Mets. The New York Mets. The New York Jets. The New York Jets. Other stuff about sports. My favorite sports team, go! Especially the sports in New York. I love New York. The Mike Time Steve Show. The Mike Time Steve Show.
Welcome, everyone, to the Mike Time Steve Show. And this week, Mike Time Steve equals hammering with nails.
What's up, Lenny? So it's good to have you on the show. It's actually great, man. Lifelong fan, and I just want to get your take on a lot of stuff. I know a lot of crazy things are going on right now in the world, as you know. So it's a perfect time, I think, to have you.
Yeah, man.
So we'll just.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
crazy things.
It is, man. So what do you think about all this? I mean, if you were a player right now, if you were an active player, how would you be feeling right now? What would be going through your mind with all this shutdown happening?
I mean, it's almost unbelievable. I mean, it seems surreal that they're shutting down seasons, and it looks like it's going to get worse. I mean, before it gets better. So it's kind of, people are in that uncharted waters. No one's been here, so there's no way to react, or you don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, life without sports now, I feel like that's the distraction that people need, especially right now. And we don't have that. Me and Mike, you're both huge baseball fans, huge Met fans, and our family too. So us sitting around waiting for the 26th. I had opening day tickets. Now I'm not going. I mean, it's nuts,
I know,
man.
It's weird, man. It's because sports, if you think about it, professional athletes in reality have always been the only recession-proof customer, profession, because through bad times, but now this is something that isn't about the economy. This is about people's health, and no one really knows what to expect. So there's a lot of fear out there. And I went to the grocery store the other day, and I couldn't believe it, man. There was nothing on the shelves. The lines were back. It was like people were getting ready to bunker down,
There's just nails. That's all I saw. Just a bunch of nails and hammers.
There weren't any nails or hammers there. So,
well, we got you though. We got you, so that covers it.
Yeah, but I mean, how's it? I'm out here in Hollywood, so a bunch of fruits and nuts out here. How about on the East Coast? What are people doing there?
Well, they're panicking. I mean, I think what's happening now. I mean, I'm not panicking personally, but I think the media has gotten to people.
They are and they aren't. I feel like there's a lot of guys out there right now that are still at bars, still hanging out. So you got a little bit of both. There's some people that are hermit crabs, and then others that are honestly out at bars. The bars were equally as packed as they've been.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them today. There were people celebrating St. Patrick's Day already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The bottom line is, 36,000 people die a month in car crashes. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you want to put it in perspective, but because this is something that never happened before, I mean, I haven't had a cold or been sick in 25 fucking years. Okay? so I mean, bottom line is the only thing to fear is fear itself. You know what I mean? 100%. And you gotta live your life. I see people walking around with fucking masks and all this bullshit. I got an immune system from fucking hell. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I can fight off anything, man.
You were certainly in tip-top shape, especially in the early '90s when you were a player with the Phillies. And I wanted to ask you something. So, being that you were a Philly and you're also a Met. I mean, we're Mets fans, so we obviously keep the Phillies. Let's be honest. But can you give us kind of a comparison? If you had to pick a side, did you have a better experience on the '86 Mets team, throughout the late '80s, or did you have a better experience with the Phillies? Or kind of if you want, just give me kind of a breakdown.
That's a good question, because here's the way to break it down. So the bottom line is when I came up with the Mets, I was the young player and just glad to be there and contributed and happened to get some hits when they mattered. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of brought up by Keith Hernandez. So when I went to the Phillies, though, I kind of became the Keith Hernandez and kind of led that club. Yeah. And in 1993, I had a breakout year and basically broke every record there was, and we went from last to first. But so I was fortunate, and I consider myself very fortunate to play in probably the two best sports towns in the country, in New York and Philadelphia. See, in New York, they throw coins at you. In Philadelphia, they throw batteries at you.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, you mentioned how you were, you had a great season. I mean, you had even a better World Series. I mean, your World Series, your postseason run, that was phenomenal. And talk about like big hits. And I'm talking about 1993. Just huge hits. And I believe you did the same thing in 86. I mean, 86, you had tremendous home runs. I mean, I'm talking game 3 of the 86, right. NLCS. That was tremendous, obviously, with the walk-off.
Yeah. You want to know the biggest hit that no one knows about that we don't, in fact, we don't go to the World Series if Dum Davey, Davey, well, he was best friends with Jack,
Right.
Evan Daniels, I mean, so Bob, this is game 6, and Bob Knepper's pitching. If it goes to game 7, we got no fucking chance because Mike Scott was unhittable. Especially for us.
He was probably using a stuffed ball too.
Yeah, of course he was. He was throwing it hard, and he was at the Dome. So game 6, we're down. Knepper's pitching, a little fucking cunny thumb and left-hander. So Davey's got me on the bench. I'm platooning. So he's throwing a one-hitter. Okay, at the top of the 9th, and Dum walks down to me, Davey, and says, "You're leading off the 9th." I said, "Oh, you finally want to fucking win, huh?" Okay. So I get up there and I hit like a towering drive to right center, but Houston was a big yard then, and somehow it fell in, so I lead off with a triple. So that triple set the tone and started the rally where we came back and ended up winning that game. And that, of all the hits I got, it wasn't a home run, was one that went unnoticed because it was just a lead-off hit. But if I don't get that hit, we don't go to the World Series.
It's lights out.
Because like I said, it's like Mike Scott was deadly at the Dome, Game 7. Come on. So, but like I said, that year, and I mean, I'm not saying it because I played in that postseason, but that postseason, that to me is one of the top. It's got to be one of the top 3 postseasons ever played in the history of baseball. I mean, it was crazy to think about what happened. I mean, the playoffs and what happened with the World Series. I mean, it was just an amazing postseason.
Oh, I mean,
so we know you don't like Davey Johnson. Who's your least favorite?
It's not that I don't like Davey Johnson.
I'm sorry.
He was an overrated, underachieving manager. It's just a fact. I mean, in 1988,
right?
He single-handedly cost us the World Series. Mm-hmm. I mean, when he left. Look, here's the deal. When you're a manager, you're like the CEO. Okay. So you have to make some decisions, and when you make your decisions, they're important decisions. And so Dwight Gooden pitched a good game. He wasn't great, but he was good enough to take us to a 3-1 lead into the 9th. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're up 2 games to 1. We go up 3 games to 1. They're buried, the Dodgers. Okay.
Right.
So you have John Shelby leading off, in the top of the 9th, who owned a .261 on base percentage. I mean, on base percentage, not average.
Right.
.261 on base, but you know what else he owned?
Strikeouts.
Okay, I mean, some hitters just have their number.
Gotcha.
Okay? He already had 2 hits that game, and then you have the lefty Sosa coming up next. Then you have Randy Myers in the bullpen, who was fucking unhittable. The last month. I don't think he hit a hit. That fucking animal down there trying to break down the fucking door to get in and throwing his BBs. And so Davey lets Doc start the 9th. He gets Shelby 0-2, okay? Can't put him away. Can't bury him. Ends up walking him. Okay, Dum. That's okay, go. Obviously, you're going to bring in the lefty now against Sosa. Sosa's only hit 3 home runs all year against right-hand pitchers. And Doc just walked the guy. And that bullpen door never opened. But you know what opened? A fucking fastball inner half that Sosa turned and burned on, 2-run homer, tied the game. At that moment, you could feel. I don't know if you guys were there, but you could feel the crowd. You could feel everything. We knew it was over then.
Oh yeah,
It was over.
I know exactly what you mean.
The baseball gods paid me this pay, and it was over. So that was like, what the fuck's he thinking about? I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
What is it like? Anyways, but that's enough about Dum Dum.
Dum Dum. Besides Dum Dum, who's your least favorite in '86? Who's your least favorite player? And you can plead the fifth. I'm just. So who's a guy who kind of?
I'll tell you who was an odd dude.
Right.
And we released him during the middle of the year. Was George Foster.
And why?
He was just a peculiar dude, man.
Right.
Like me and Mookster, the Mookie, we got along great, man.
Yeah, well, you actually got.
And we competed for a position too, and we still got along great.
Right, you got
but
your.
George Foster was just peculiar, man.
Right.
Like when you talk between innings, like if they make a pitching change or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we walk over, you start talking to him. And the guy wouldn't talk. There's nothing to talk to him about. At least the Mookster would talk, and then, he had some bad fumes coming at me.
Well, he's definitely the most weird, the most strange guy. But do you have someone that you least liked? I mean, look, even if you want to go past '86, if you just want to say a player in general. Right. I think I have an idea who it might be, but do you have a certain player?
Ron, you mean Ron Darling?
That's exactly what I was talking about.
First of all, you got to give Ron Darling credit, okay?
Okay.
For lasting 12 years in the big leagues with that shit he had. He had nothing on the ball but his fucking hand. Okay? How he got away with that shit for 12 years? Well, he was a smart pitcher. Just ask him, by the way. I'll tell you.
He's a great analyst. I'll tell you that.
And he's got cancer. Like I got fucking. Like I'm gonna play center field for the Mets this year too. It's a fucking joke. But it'll all come out. See, the problem is why the fuck would you want me as a fucking enemy? What a dumb motherfucker.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And there were several.
Service.
There were several players that vouched for you. Doc Gooden being one of them that said that.
Yeah, of course they vouched for me. How could you not? I'm sure. I couldn't even. I was 23 years old as a kid, man. I was just.
Right.
The bottom line is, Darling went to Yale, Mr. P. Had some fucking ghostwriter write the book. So you have a fraud within a fraud within a fraud within a fraud. Because remember, in that book, he had the wrong picture on. He had the wrong pitcher on the mound. The biggest game in probably baseball history when the ball went through Buckner's legs.
Right.
He had Calvin Schiraldi on the mound. So what I'm trying to say is like
it was some PR bullshit.
The bottom line is when those excerpts got released, he got fucking decimated, and the fans were not stopping anytime soon. Okay, they called for his job. He panicked and announced he had some, I don't know, fucking chest mass. I got all the facts. The bottom line is Ron Darling right now has pulled off the biggest fraud in the history of sports, and it's ongoing.
Wow. That's interesting. That's probably because everyone's afraid to talk about it, but that's the first time I've heard anyone kind of say that about it.
They're all afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, so it's good to have your honesty.
Because they're afraid, but see, remember, I don't say anything with absolute certainty unless I know that it's factual or I can back it up with documents.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I say something with absolute certainty, I can never tell Backman or whoever was hitting behind me, hey, you know what? I own this motherfucker. I'm gonna get a hit this time. I guarantee it. No, I couldn't guarantee that. You know why? I might hit it at somebody.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
So, like I told you, look, Ron Darling had nowhere to go. Okay, he had nowhere to go. There was nothing he could do. Okay, it was not ending. Okay, it wasn't just me he took apart. He took apart Murphy, he took apart Carter, but see, that wasn't Ron Darling. See, Ron Darling's politician, he sucked enough cock to get up there, okay? The way he got up there by sucking cock, okay? And so he's not going to go out there and bury people in that book. He didn't even write that book.
That is how you get ahead.
Hazen wrote that fucking book.
No.
And Mr. P was probably too busy to proofread it. And then the fucking publishing house, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. There's no fact checking, no nothing. So they're buried. They're all fucking buried.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Because you know why? You know why?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got the fucking facts. This isn't me. This isn't hearsay. I got documented fucking proof. Okay? I mean, look. I've never lost to anybody in my life, okay? I've won every time I've done it. I've won. The only group I lost to is this big fucking organization called the federal government, okay? And I didn't want that fucking war,
Right.
okay? I go to war with people I know I can beat.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I go to war with somebody I can't beat?
Unless you're a
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the federal government, when it says you're being indicted, and I go, wait, what the fuck's that? Indicted? I mean, it says United States of America versus Lenny Dykstra. I laughed. That's fucking laughable.
Well, they want
Me versus the most powerful country in the fucking world.
Right, you
Okay.
already lost. It's like it's.
Yeah, when
It
they,
was fucking like funny. I took a picture. It's still in my mind. I remember seeing it, the United States of America. You know.
Right, right.
Anyways, the bottom line is these Mets fans, man, and you know, sport fans in New York. They're the greatest fans in the world, and they will support you. They will battle for you. They will fucking stand behind you. They like the underdog. They'll root for you. But you fucking dupe them, you fucking play them,
Right.
okay? They might blow that fucking stadium up, okay?
I agree. Yeah, look. We were there.
Because you're making fools out of them.
Yeah.
Remember, it's ongoing.
Right.
It's ongoing.
So-
Okay, every day he's in that booth. There's that poor Ron Darling, going with cancer. Really? Yeah.
well,
okay.
you know, I think fans.
See, I can say that, and if I wanted to, I can go right now. See, Major League Baseball is about one thing: the integrity of the game. That's the most important and paramount thing to Major League Baseball.
Well, speaking of that,
How do we know? How can the Mets? Do you think the Mets owners? You can't sneak in fucking cancer surgery.
right?
I mean, like, have you ever heard of somebody sneaking in cancer surgery?
No, you don't. Yeah, you can't.
If he had cancer, he had fucking kids around him, and the Ron Darling Cancer Foundation, and suck cock again, you know. But the bottom line is, he panicked because he had to panic because the fans were coming at him so fucking fast and so furious.
It did seem a little bit. Now that you're talking about it, did seem a little bit like coincidental. You know, I'll do the quotes for that because the timing of it. You know what I mean? And so I totally get what you're saying there. You know, and timing is everything. I mean, you got your shot with the Mets because of timing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you actually got in '85 because Mookie went down. So you know you came up. So that was your big shot.
Yeah. I mean, I came up and, you know, in a spot role, you know, we got to break a little bit, but '86 is when
You're the leadoff, right? At that point.
Mookie had a rundown. Remember, in spring training, his eye hit by a ball, so I ended up leading off, you know, every day at the beginning of the season. So, but like I said, me and Mookie had a great relationship, and we competed. That whole team was a special team because we had a mix of young players with the veterans, and you know, I mean, but people talk about how crazy that team was. That team was like fucking school children compared to our 1993 Phillies team. I mean,
And Lenny,
come on, bro.
I understand why you're called Nails because you know you're tough as nails, right? But can you take us through like how that started? Like who was the first one to call you that? Like how did you get that nickname?
Yeah, that's a good question because that's a fucking cool nickname, man. Actually,
It is.
I mean, it's better than thumbtacks, man. No, so you know who did that? Bill Robinson, man, the late Bill Robinson. Unfortunately, he passed on a little way earlier than he should have. He was a great guy, and he said, you know, man, you're nails or something, and then it kind of just picked up from there. And then Rafael Santana, he used to always say, nail, you know. So yeah, it just kind of gained steam. And you know that poster I did where I was standing on the nails. You know who put that together? The big bad dude, John Stearns. Remember him?
Yeah.
Backup catcher.
Well, he was a coach for the Mets in the 2000s.
He's a coach now, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So the Mets manager this year is who's the Mets manager?
Luis Rojas.
You're talking about
Rojas.
How do you think he's going to do?
Well, let me ask you about Beltran, right? So you mentioned about the integrity of the game. What is the sign stealing situation? Because
the fucking joke is what it is.
it is, right? And
It's a fucking joke. It's so fucking ridiculous. Listen, I played 12 years in the big leagues. Okay, wait a second. You ready? Here you go. You're the hitter.
Right.
Okay, first of all, the pitcher. Let's just play this out. The pitcher, okay, he shakes off. Okay, now, when the pitcher agrees, he starts his windup. Now, first of all, the guy in center, supposedly whoever the fuck he is, has to, number one, know the sequence. They're not stupid. They're changing sequence in every inning. When I say sequence, they'll put down a 1, a 2, a 3, a 1. So maybe that inning will be first sign after 1.
Right.
Or maybe it'll be the third thing. So you have to first get the sequence. Then he has to relay that in and say, curveball's coming. Now, every time they hit the fucking trash cans or whatever. Now, you're the hitter, and the guy's in his windup. Where's the fucking hit the trash can, motherfucker? What the fuck's going on? I mean, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And let me tell you something why. Because, see, the first time as a hitter, you get crossed up.
Right.
When you get crossed up as a hitter, you tell the person, don't tell me the fucking signs again. And then I'll give you a quick story about this. We're in, speaking of, like, this is like typical of my life, we're in Houston. And this is when Craig Biggio was catching. I don't know if you remember that. He came up as a catcher, okay?
I do remember.
So in Houston, it was what I hit the best, my best yard I hit in. So it was a weekend series. Friday and Saturday, I was like 8 for 8. So on Sunday, he's catching, and he says, you know what? Since we couldn't get you out and we didn't tell you what was coming, I'm going to tell you every pitch that's coming, every at bat. And I'm looking at him like, fuck you, yeah. And first pitch, fastball, he says. And there's a fastball. I said, what's that? Next pitch, he says, okay, there's no curveball here. Here comes a curveball. He throws a curveball. Bottom line, quick story. I went 0 for 4. He told me every fucking pitch that was coming.
Right.
Every pitch, see, but because of the mind, see, baseball's so mental. Your mind, it can fuck. So I didn't know whether to believe him, not believe him. Which leads back to the sign stealing thing. I mean, it sounds like Rob Manfred was a little bored and didn't have much to do because, I mean, I think the penalties were a little bit stiff. I mean, people have been stealing signs forever.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. It's just it's laughable. It's fucking laughable.
And normally
it's a fucking joke.
Doesn't the game police itself with that? Like I've seen situations.
Yeah, people get drilled for that shit. You know?
Right. So.
I mean, and again, what they're trying to say it's impossible. It's physically impossible.
Right.
Okay? I mean, you might get one sign, you might get another sign here, but at the end of the day, what they're talking about, it's laughable.
Right.
I mean,
can I ask?
Picture the hitter. I love this though.
Right.
Because you're in the box. He's in his windup now. When's the barrel? Where's the barrel? Trash can. Like, who the fuck wants to hit like that?
Right. Let me ask you a question real quick though. This is on your Wikipedia page, and I never heard of it, but apparently you were on the Colin Cowherd's radio station, and you told him that you paid private investigators $500,000 to dig up dirt on umpires. Is that true?
Fuck yeah, man.
That is freaking awesome.
I learned early on, man, that umpires control my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say control my life, you gotta understand something. Me, okay, I'm fucking 5'9", dude. I'm not even, I'm little. I led the league in hits 2 years. That's not like, I'm not bragging, but only one motherfucker can say that. Okay?
Yeah. Well, Billy Bean said in the minor leagues, the reason why you were so successful is because you feared no one.
Right. Well, exactly. The bottom line is leading further past that. It's about having a game plan, and when you have a game plan and you stick with it. It wasn't until 1990 that I figured out how to hit. Right. I mean, so you either hit right or you hit wrong. Okay. And there's only one way to hit, and 95% of the players in the big leagues today hit wrong. Okay, And that's because they're selfish and because they don't play the game off the scoreboard, okay? Meaning, if you get 3 strikes, you get 3 strikes for a reason, right? The game's fucking hard, okay? So why? How could you not be sitting on one pitch in one area till you get 2 strikes? Meaning, you have to take control of the at bat. You have to take the offense. You have to be on the offensive, and the pitcher knows it. Because if you're sitting on, let's say you're sitting on a fastball inner half. Remember, you're only swinging if you get that pitch. If you don't, you spit on it. And it throws a nasty biting slider, and you don't go for it. And the pitcher says, "Fuck, this guy's locked in, man." The umpire says he's locked in. Well, I didn't have to say that to the umpires. Because I got tired, back to your question, I got tired of brown-nosing the umpires. "Hey, how you doing today? How you doing today?" Fuck that shit, man. I just said, "Hey, Bruce, hey, they cut. Oh, you missed last night. You didn't cover that last night. You're on the wrong side, huh?"
Lenny,
looks at me like,
I don't want to cut you off. I don't want to cut you off, but that actually brings up a good point, because that famous fight you had with the Dodgers catcher, number 17, I forget his last name, but that definitely had some. Yes, that had to do with the umpire too, correct?
Right. See, but here's the problem. That umpire was a rookie. See, he didn't know that I could fucking make him fucking get fired the next day. The rest of them had never. I had dirt on all these guys, dude. I could tell you who fucking sucked cock. I could tell you who got pussy. I could tell you who gambled. I could tell you who played fucking video games.
You probably should. This is a good time to say
So
it.
you're saying there's umpires in the MLB that gambled on the game that they played?
Of course, dude. You know, they're human. Their blood just as red as ours. Okay?
And
meaning, but I can't name names because, but like I told the commissioner when he called me, you know, if you want to know who's gay, just let me know and I'll let you know. You know?
Right.
I mean,
So,
but the bottom line is this: at the end of the day, the game comes down to getting the count in your favor. Because I took a poll. I took 5 years of players that had at least 500 at bats, and I took every count. So what would happen? Because remember, it's a 162 game schedule. It's a grind, man.
Right.
It's a fucking grind. So if you're 0-1, you're gonna hit 180. Okay. If it's 1-0, you're gonna hit 280. Okay. So that's the difference of getting fired and getting, you know, a real job and keeping your job and making, you know, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you're like Dino, right?
And the pitchers now have changed, though. Remember, the pitchers are so fucking good now.
Right.
Okay, and they don't care. Remember, hitting's all timing now. So hitting is about trying to get yourself in a predictable situation. You know, guy gets down, you know, 2-0, you know, back in the 80s and whatever, early 90s, you know, you're getting a fastball. Now they'll throw a fucking changeup, a slider, they don't give a fuck. So hitting has got much, much harder. And then they have all these specialist pitchers come in. But anyways, I mean, I could talk about that shit all day long. I can talk about pussy all day long. I can talk about drugs all day long.
Who hasn't?
well, really,
what else you want to talk about?
you said something that kind of hit me, getting the count in your favor, and I feel like anybody in the world should try to do that regardless, right? In their business or whatever. So, you know, I really think that's something that if we all had that mindset, the world would be a little bit better. So I do appreciate that.